So, welcome to Bhakti Steps. We'll start with the prayers which are on my screen. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuramritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutare Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yuktapatakabalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagada Gruna Tamvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsa. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु भैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So, welcome to Bhakti Steps. We will continue from Science of Self-Realization, Chapter 6. We will read this section now, the Supreme Welfare Work. So, this is Srila Prabhupada. He exchanges letter with Secretary of Andhra Pradesh Relief Fund of Hyderabad, India. If you want to perform relief work simply by collecting funds, I think that will not be successful. You have to please the Supreme Authority, and that is the way to success. For example, due to performance of Sankirtan, congregation chanting of Hare Krishna, here the rain has begun to fall after a drought of 2 years. Reverts Swamiji. So, first of all, he writes a letter to Prabhupada. I guess this is his letter. Let's read his letter. The residents of the Twin Cities are happy to have this opportunity to meet you and your esteemed followers. I think Twin City he means Hyderabad and Sikandrabad. These are twin cities. This is next to each other. You may be aware that due to inadequate rainfall during the last 2 years and its complete failure this year, more than half of our state, Andhra Pradesh, a state in southern India, is in grip of serious drought. With a view to supplement governmental efforts to combat this evil, a central voluntary organization of citizens drawn from various walks of life has been set up. The members of this organization surveyed this area affected by drought. The situation is pathetic. There are villages where drinking water is not available for miles. Due to scarcity of water, the cattle owners are parting with their cattle for a nominal price. Many of the stray cattle are dying away due to unavailability of water and water. The food problem is also very serious. Due to high prices of food grains on open market, purchase of grains at market prices is beyond the reach of poor villages. The result that at least 5 to 6 million people are hardly having one meal a day. There are many who are on the verge of starvation. The entire situation is very pathetic and heart-rending. We therefore appeal to your revered soul to consider how your society could best come to the rescue of these millions of souls who are unimaginable distress. The committee would like suggest that members of your society appeal to bhaktas, devotees attending your discourse, to contribute their might to the Andhra Pradesh Relief Fund. The committee is prepared to send some of its representatives along with members of your society wherever you wish to distribute prasad to the hungry millions of this fate. As Manava Seva is Madhava Seva, service to man is service to God, the committee is confident and even a little effort by your gracious society will go a long way in mitigating the suffering of hundreds and thousands of people. Yours in the service of the Lord, T.L. Katidia, Secretary, Andhra Pradesh Relief Fund Committee, Hyderabad, India. Maybe this is in the 1970s. So Prabhupada replies to this letter, very interesting. Please accept my greetings. With reference to your letter and your personal interview, I beg to inform you that without pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, no one can become happy. Unfortunate people do not know who God is and how to make him happy. So this is the point. This is the main crux of the letter. People don't know who God is, how to make him happy. Our Krishna conscious movement is therefore to present the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly to the people. as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto 6th chapter, तुस्ते तत्रम किम अलभ्यम अनंत अद्य किम तैर गुण व्यक्तिकराद इह इह ये स्व सिद्धाय. The idea in this verse is that by pleasing the Supreme Personal Godhead, we please everyone and there is no question of scarcity. Because people do not know this secret of success, they are making their own independent plans to be happy. However, this is not possible to achieve. It is not possible to achieve happiness in this way. On our letterhead, on your letterhead, I find many important men in this country who are interested in relieving the suffering of the people, but they should know that for certain that without pleasing the Supreme Personal Godhead, all the attempts will be futile. A diseased man cannot live simply on the strength of the help of expert physician and medicine. If they were so, no rich man would ever die. One must be favored by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is a very interesting line Prabhupada put here. A diseased man cannot live simply on the strength of the help of an expert physician and medicine. Let's say a diseased man, he gets good doctor and good medicine. Will he still survive? Will he still survive?
Sorry, Prabhu, what's the question? That a diseased man cannot live simply on the strength of the help of an expert physician.
And medicine.
For time being, Prabhu, he might survive, but may not. He will not survive forever.
No, the way see the way the thing works in this world, okay, is that behind everything there is hand of God, okay, and it is definitely an invisible hand of God. It is not so easily visible. So let's say one gets a good medicine, good doctor, and he survives. Okay, one may think, okay, because he got good medicine, good doctor, he survived, right? That could be the natural conclusion, isn't it?
Yes,
Because
Prabhu.
so many people, they go to big hospitals and they do survive. They go to Ames, they go to Breach Candy, they go to Jaslok, they go to Manipal, and they are able to survive. It is not a secret, it's an open fact. You definitely have to go to a good doctor, right, and access good medicine, and the chances of surviving increases. Okay, but it is not just because one goes to good hospital, good medicine, that he survives. What does that mean is that it is not these are the only agents that are not saving him. Okay, these are not the only agents that are saving a person. Externally it seems these are the only agent, but in this world there are invisible forces. Okay, there are invisible forces. So what Prabhupada is trying to point out is from this particular chapter, 18th chapter, and we have read this, but it's important to repeat. According to Vedanta, there are 5 causes of accomplishment of any action. Learn from me. So actually there are 5 reasons for any action to bear fruit. First is the place of action, this particular body. Every body has a particular ability. Okay, every body has a particular ability, particular feature, particular facility. Depending on that, the action can be achieved. Like someone wants to be a sports person, then the body has to be healthy. Without a healthy body, he can't. How much he may try, he may not win. Right? Second is the performer. Who is the soul? The soul has to be in the body. Okay. Third is the various senses, the senses that we have: eyes, ears, nose, working and acquiring, knowledge acquiring senses, both. They have to be in good health. They cannot be disabled. Uh, if eyes are not there, if somebody is blind, then to simply even walking on the road will become difficult, right? The many different kinds of endeavor. If we have healthy body, we are will power, we are having will to do that activity, our senses are strong. But if we don't want to put efforts, the result is not going to come. Fine, this much is very clear. This much, these all these reasons are very in front of us, right? We need a healthy body, we need a determined mind and intelligence, right? Our senses has to be in good shape, and we have to put a lot of effort in the right direction. Getting this much, we can see. For any action that we perform, we can tell people all these four reasons. We can tell, there are many books which talk about these four reasons, isn't it? They say you can make your destiny, you can make your life, like that, if you put hard work you can achieve goal and all that, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so they are all talking about the first four reasons. See, all today's what self-help books and influencers and coaches, they are mostly focused on these four reasons. Place of action, they will tell how to make the body a very good place of action, how to keep oneself healthy, physically healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, IQ, EQ, all that. Performer, how to be willed, how to be determination, how to be determined in your effort, how to train your senses. Especially in sports, we see the sports people that train their senses such nicely. They'll be always in training. So and if you take mathematics, if you take all that, it is basically you're training your senses, isn't it? Then the many different kinds of endeavors, the skills one can achieve. Mm. If one keeps achieving skill, definitely he can produce more output. Now the fifth thing that not many people talk about, but the shastras and the acharyas talk about, is ultimately the super soul. Meaning, all these things is fine, the first four reasons are fine. The super soul ultimately decides. It ultimately has the power to sanction where this result will go. That's why in the Olympics, not everyone wins the gold, isn't it? There are 8 runners, only one wins the gold, right? All of them have practiced the four reasons to the best of their ability, but only one of them win, isn't it? There are so many who give IIT GE exams, you know for 1 mark there will be hundreds and hundreds of students, on that 1 mark difference. So who is ultimately providing the final sanction? That is the super soul. This is the thing that shastras say. Ultimately everything is sanctioned by the supreme lord. Okay, therefore pleasing the supreme lord is also very important, apart from all kinds of endeavors and other four reasons. So this is the reason. Pleasing the super soul is very important. Then you can get the result. Everything will be on your side. You understand this point? Any question on this?
So, Prabhu, what we are trying to say, I'll just repeat what I understood. Basically, we're
Mhm.
trying to say that we, while the kind of self help book, we're talking about affirmation, manifestation, we kind of
Yeah,
train our
law of attraction, so
law
many
of
things
attraction and
discussing.
so on and so forth. We try to train our mind to think positive and
Yeah,
believe in that something is going to happen. However, what we typically forget is that super soul who is residing in all of us, he is the one who is doing all of this, right? He is the one who is driving
he
all
is
the
the one who is
factors.
ultimately sanctioning the result.
He is sanctioning. Yes, yes, Prabhu. If I hope this is what you meant, and this is what
Yes,
I. Yeah.
exactly. And it is always a suspense where it will get, how much it will be sanctioned, what will be the result. Okay, it will always be a suspense. You will never know. You have to put your endeavor, you have to do all the other things. The final suspense is with the Supreme Lord. Now, very interestingly, Krishna says few things that I just want to show. Sutre Manigana Eva. Mm, um, search here. Sorry. It's text necklace. Oh, yeah. See, this is the shloka I was looking for. It's in, I think, 9.7.
This is from Bhagavad
7.7.
Gita, Vibhu.
Yeah. So this is 7.7. मतः परन्तराणाम् अन्यात् किंचिद अस्ति धनंजया मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतं सूत्रे मणिगण एव. O conqueror of hell, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on the thread. When there's a necklace of pearl, you don't see the thread, right?
Yes, Prabhu. I am also reading parallelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a necklace of pearl, what you don't see is the thread, but we know it is there. Otherwise, they won't be holding it together, right? So Krishna is saying, I am like the thread in the pearl necklace, and the thread is not always seen. And he's saying, I am the truth, nothing superior to me. Everything rests upon me. So when he's saying everything rests upon me, even the ultimate decision making is resting upon me. And I'm like the thread in the necklace of a pearl. Meaning I'll never be seen, but I am there. Okay. Whatever right and wrong action a man performs by body, mind, speech is caused by these five factors. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the five factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. So we should not think we are the only doer.
What is this is chapter 18,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
this is 18.16.
16. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the five factors. Here, five factors, Prabhu, the same, na? Body, performer, and this is what
Yeah.
it's referring, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Is certainly not very intelligent, cannot see. The five factor was text 14, right? Body,
Yes, yes.
performer,
18.14.
senses. Yeah, so body, performer. So the performer here is,
The
we're
soul.
talking about super soul, right?
No, 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 the soul.
The soul, okay. The body,
We,
the
we, we are the performer. See, as the
correct.
soul,
Got it, got it, got it. I
um,
remember, Prabhu. Huh.
as the
So,
soul, we desire. Okay, we desire. So how much strong our desire is, we will put that much efforts. We will force our body, our mind in achieving that goal. Fine. And ultimately, it will be sanctioned by the Lord. Like that it is. On our own strength, we can achieve the goal partly, or let's say we can come very near to the goal, and finally the goal will be awarded. It's like that.
Prabhu, so when we talk about all these manifestations, law of attraction, and all of that, and a lot of people say that, um, um, it's working and it isn't working out and all of that. Now we see right here, it is clear that it is all about our body, performer, and especially the super soul because he's sanctioning it. But how does this entire thing works? I'm just out
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, that's
curiosity
the point
asking.
I was coming to.
Hmm.
See, in this world, Krishna has made this universal government. Okay, this whole this whole universe that we are seeing, it is working, right? There are laws working in this world: law of gravitation, law of planets, thermodynamics laws. Fine. um let's see. All okay. Okay, so in this particular universe, let me just get some cosmos. Yeah. So in this universe, it is working, right? Like all the devatas are there, the laws are there, the planets are there, the energies are there, right? All of this system is working because of Krishna's desire. Fine. Now there is dharma and adharma. Dharma means Krishna has provided us Vedas, and if we follow the Vedas and uh, if we do our duties properly according to the Vedas, then living within this universe will be happy, will be prosperous. Okay, this is how the system he has made, and he explains this in the third chapter. In the third chapter, he tells, yeah. In the beginning of creation, the Lord and all the creatures sent forth generations of men and devatas, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them. Be thou happy by this yajna, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. The devatas, that is the demigods, being pleased by your sacrifices, will also please you, and thus by cooperation between the men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. In charge of the various necessities of life, the devatas, being satisfied with the performance of yajna, will supply all necessities to you, but He who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the devatas is certainly in return, is certainly a thief. Okay, so this is the system that Krishna has said, where it's called a cycle of sacrifice. If you can see my screen, this is a cycle of sacrifice where one does one accesses the Vedas, through which he comes to know what are his prescribed duties. He does those prescribed duties which are dharmic in nature, okay, which are aligning with the laws of this universe and which are being beneficial for everyone. Such activities, such duties, when one does, then it is called a sacrifice. When one does such sacrifice, the devatas who are controlling the various energies in this universe, water energy, fire energy, air energy, they will send forth rains. Through rains, we will be able to grow food. From food, we will subsist. Because the devatas gave us food, we will offer it back to the Supreme Lord as sacrifice or yajna. The Supreme Lord will be pleased, and that's how we will continue the cycle of sacrifice, and then there will be prosperity and peace on this earth. See, this is the system that Krishna has uh, created. That if one follows the prescribed duties, then he will get what he wants.
Comment. Happy posting.
Okay. Did you get this cycle of sacrifice?
No, Prabhu, you might have to explain me again. I'm sorry. I got a little distracted here. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So Krishna in third chapter, he says he has set up this system. This is a sacrifice, cycle of sacrifice system where one accesses the Vedas and does his prescribed duties. He pleases the Devatas because he did his prescribed duties. The Devatas will give him rain. From rain, he will get food, that is grains. Then from food, he will sustain. And he will offer part of that food to the Supreme Lord as sacrifice. And again, he will keep doing his karma. Just like if a person in this, like we are living in this country, if we performed our duty and we pay our taxes, we don't hide anything, we pay our taxes at the end of the year, the government is going to provide us with various facilities like roads and facilities, electricity, etc., right? You understand this concept, like it is there in our government also.
Yes, Prabhu,
Yeah.
yes.
So if we do legal activities and we pay the taxes, the government is going to provide us things and they are not going to come after us. In sense, they are not going to hold us, we are not criminal in their eyes, right? We are good citizens. So good citizens are taken care by the government. Do we see the government? No. It is just working behind the scenes. We know it is there. We just have to pay the taxes. And we do it through the agent of chartered accountant, and through the bank the money is getting transferred to the account of the government, and the government is taking care of it and providing us with various facilities. Same way Krishna has this universal government where he has set up the devatas who are taking care of rain, fire, medicine, obstacles, travel, everything. Just like we have local government, there is a universal government also. And if we simply do our dharmic activities, the universal government will be happy with us and will provide whatever we need. Okay. So the way the thing this work is, he has set up this system and we just have to be dharmic. That's it. If we are dharmic, most of the time all our activities will be done. And that's what people experience. They don't have to explicitly go to the Supreme Lord. Okay, if they are simply satisfying the devatas, one can live very prosperously on this earth. Is this clear? We don't have to explicitly satisfy the Prime Minister. If we simply do our duties, pay the taxes, things will come to us. Isn't that the concept?
Yes, Prabhu.
Same way, Krishna says, I have set up this thing where the devatas are there, and you satisfy the devatas by your prescribed duty, they will provide you everything. So technically, we don't have to explicitly go to Krishna. If we are simply satisfying the devatas, we are happy in this world. Okay, that's why people are only uh, aware of the first four activity factors of action. Right, people are thinking I'm doing all this, it is my endeavor, it is my own thing, therefore I'm getting things. In a way they are right in that thinking, but the government still holds the right, the government still holds the right to give us the facility or not to give us the facility, isn't it? It can withhold.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
In all normal cases it doesn't withhold, only in emergency cases it may withhold. Like when there was a time in India where people were not having uh, you know to eat properly and all that, that time the government put on some rules for everyone. You should eat only once in a day, you cannot have big fat weddings, this much high will be the taxes. But that was like that the emergency level. Okay, so the point to mention is that it is the government also who holds the ultimate control, right? Same way, Krishna holds the ultimate control. He has created the system and he's allowing all this to be provided. But everything is done under his uh, sanction, right? The devatas are not independent. They are also dependent on the Supreme Lord. So everything is happening under his sanction. Now, if electricity is coming through Bangalore Bescom, does it mean it is not coming from the Prime Minister?
No, it doesn't. Yeah. It means Prime Minister is sanctioning it also. Yeah.
Yes. See, it's an indirect way. I mean, it is an invisible thing. But the BESCOM is working because the government is sanctioning, because the Prime Minister is sanctioning, right? Or for all normal reasons, the sanction is always there. You understand this point? For all normal reasons, the sanction is always there. But people sometimes forget, right? They think that the BESCOM guy is the ultimate guy, right? They don't know that it is actually coming through the Prime Minister. You see, you understand this difference, and you understand the
Yes,
source.
yes, Prabhu.
Yeah,
So basically, ultimate authority is that, but we
yeah,
keep forgetting it because we keep
yeah.
thinking that we are the soul, and since we've like Prescom is this in this
Yeah,
example,
I paid the bill to the BESCOM, he should provide me.
and I deserve it. I
Yeah,
deserve
I
it.
deserve it. Fine. The same concept we use it for Krishna. First of all, Krishna is hidden. Second thing, he has set up this whole system. And we think because I am doing my duty, the Devatas should give me. Okay, so that's why Prabhupada is saying, if we go back to our thing, that uh, without pleasing the Supreme Lord, one cannot be happy. We have to know who is the Supreme and how to please him. Okay. Because a diseased man externally gets uh, cured because he got access of a good physician and medicine, but internally it was sanctioned by the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, why is it that even a rich man would die in the best of the best hospital, right? There was one industrialist. He had the whole hospital on his name, but they couldn't save him, right? They couldn't save him. So it is not just the strength of the expert physician and medicine that we live. It is also by the invisible sanction of the Supreme Lord. One must be favored by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Now you understand the whole concept why the Acharyas bring in Krishna in such situations where it is where common man may find it very difficult to understand. You got this
I
idea?
got it. Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah. See, it's a matter of realization. Okay. At this point, we will theoretically understand that Krishna is there and he is sanctioning everything. For our Acharya, for pure devotee, they will actually see Krishna working behind everything. Okay. Therefore, if you want to perform relief work simply by collecting funds, I think it will not be successful. One can keep arguing on this statement. The whole Red Cross Society will argue. We are collecting so much money. We are able to provide, right? World Bank and World Health Organization, isn't it?
Hmm.
They'll say
Yeah, Prabhu.
because people are donating, we are able to do this. How can you say it's not happening? It's not won't be successful. The point to mention is you are successful because the Supreme Lord is sanctioning. It is not that he is not sanctioning. It is sanctioning. It is only that he is invisible. We are just making sure to put you as it is that there is behind every scene there is Supreme Lord. You have to please the supreme authority. That is the way to success. For example, due to performance of Sankirtan here, the rain has begun to fall after a drought of 2 years. Now this Sankirtan Yagya is there now, where we chant the holy name. It's a Yagya. It's a prescribed duty. This has caused the rain. And this actually happened. When Prabhupada did Sankirtan Yagya in Hyderabad, there was rain. And he also points out the last time we performed the Hare Krishna festival in Delhi, there was imminent danger of Pakistan declaring war. And when the newspaper man approached me of my opinion, I said there must be fighting because the other party was aggressive. However, because of our Sankirtan movement, India emerged victorious. So Prabhupada is talking about 1971 war. Similarly, when we held festival in Calcutta, the Naxalite, in the 60s and 70s, the Naxalite movement in West Bengal was so much. Prabhupada said the Naxalite movement stopped. These are facts. Through Sankirtan movement, we can not only get all the facilities for living, but also at the end can go back to Godhead. Those who are demonic nature cannot understand it, but it is a fact. See, those who are demoniac, meaning those who are Nastic, they don't accept the Vedic explanations. They don't believe in God. Okay, they will find this very difficult to understand. I therefore request you, as a leading member of society, to join this movement. What does joining this movement means? There is no loss on anyone's part for chanting Hare Krishna mantra, but the gain is great. Joining this movement means to chant Hare Krishna. If one is chanting Hare Krishna, he has joined the movement. Okay, it is not a signature on some paper or something. You chant Hare Krishna, you have joined the movement, because this movement is not material. It is a spiritual movement. According to Bhagavad Gita, which is accepted by leading men, is also accepted by common men. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tat evarto janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastat anuvartate. Whatever actions a great man performs, common men follow in his footsteps. And whatever standards he set by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. The Sankirtan movement of Krishna consciousness is very important. Therefore, through you, I wish to appeal all the leading men of India to accept this movement very seriously and give us facility to spread this movement. And what will we do while spreading this movement? We will make everyone chant Hare Krishna and we will distribute prasadam. By doing this chanting Hare Krishna, we are pleasing the Supreme Lord. We are following this sacrifice, and through which we will get grain, and we will subsist. This is the formula that Prabhupada is saying. There will be great happiness, happy condition not only in India but all over the world. Hope this meets you in good health. You are ever well wisher, AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Any questions at this point?
Oh, this is clear.
Okay. So it simply means that we please the Supreme Lord. So how do we please the Supreme Lord? The Supreme Lord came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before that, he came. Krishna himself came. He gave Bhagavad Gita. He says, "You have to surrender unto me. Sarva dharmam parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja." And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he explained how to surrender. You chant the holy name of Krishna, and through that, the process of Sharanagati, everything will start. That's how we are pleasing Krishna. And then when we please Krishna, everything will be provided. And it's a matter of realization. When devotees do this thing, they realize that how Krishna is helping them in their life. See, Krishna is the one who gives remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness, right? We read that day, 15 chapter, 15 shloka. So everything he is only giving. For a common man also he is giving, for atheist also he is giving, for a devotee also he is giving. Among the three, only the devotee understands. This is coming from Krishna. Therefore, when devotee is being glorified, he will say, the Supreme Lord helped me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this thing. He will pass on the credit to the Supreme Lord. But puffed up person, he will say, I did it. I did it. Right? I put in all the efforts and I did it. So he will think he's the only doer. A devotee will think, I am not the only doer. It was the mercy of Krishna. भगवान की कृपा है. Right? We always hear this statement, भगवान की कृपा है.
Yes.
So this is how Krishna works behind the scene, and then devotee acknowledges that. Now only a devotee can understand. I say, I mean, it's
Correct. Correct.
so yeah. Okay, so we'll go. It's still we are
It's almost time. Shall we stop here?
yeah, fine. Any last question, comment?
No, I think it's clear. You've explained it very nicely.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much. We will meet.